What you're about to watch may just make you want to bash your head against a wall. It is so bad what we're about to see. So bad. And just yesterday, I released a video breaking down the Islamic population of over 40 towns and cities across England, and those numbers were horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. And yet some of you were commenting saying that actually the real numbers are far greater. The numbers I was using from the government aren't accurate, don't take into account illegal migrants, and they may be a few years old. So we're going to watch this video from Nate Friedman, just came out a few days ago, as he walks around Birmingham. We're going to talk about it as we go through the video. Prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves for this one. This is going to be difficult to watch for a lot of you. Let's go.
As I walked through Birmingham, I struggled to find just one person who looked like me. Less than a mile away from me is small Heath Park, where they did this demonstration. Now does this look like England to you?
Yeah, so this is why people were commenting on my video saying like, no, Birmingham's more than 30% Muslim, right? And I believe it. Yeah, this is why civil war is coming. Like if there's enough people in the UK that are willing to fight.
So I asked him, would he like to see Sharia law in the UK? Would you like to see it in the UK?
I think Sharia law is pretty much already been followed.
It's already here?
No, what I mean, it's already been followed. Like the British laws, most of it is literally Sharia law. Treat each other with respect and so on and so on.
No, Takia lies. You can't be against this because you've already got this, right? You know, be nice to people. No, that is not Sharia law. Sharia law is kill the non-believers, force them to become a Muslim, make them pay the jizya tax. You can marry 6-year-olds, right? Throw gay people off of rooftops.
Don't harm and so on and so on.
But Sharia is according to the Islamic text, though. So meaning like, you know, if your wife commits adultery, she should be stoned. That's not in British law, though, right?
So you're only going to concentrate on that and ignore the rest of the good.
No, because you're ashamed of it and you hate it when people like him bring it up.
Guys will constantly come and say Islam, 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 Islam. Because you've been pre-programmed.
Well, you say
by the British media.
You say you guys. I'm not a guys. I'm an individual.
What you've done, because you're pre-programmed, you've heard it on the news. They're like Sharia law is bad.
But you're
pre-programmed, and you're not pre-programmed, Mr. Raised Muslim from birth. Like, what utter ridiculous thing to say. Here he is standing in a country that is not his, claiming that he has a way to fix all of the UK's problems. It's the best system in the world, but don't comment on this thing. Oh, don't comment on that thing. Oh, you're just focusing on this one thing about stoning people to death. Like, which one is it? Is it the best one? Or is it like some of it's like just you can't talk about it?
You're saying sir, with all due respect, I spoke to a man outside a mosque whose son runs it, who told me that inshallah, Islam will take over the West and the world. So can I ask you about that? Can I ask if you want that?
What's the fastest growing religion in the world right now?
It's Islam.
That's just right. Okay, so it's the fastest growing religion, therefore it's good. No. It's growing because you guys are just popping out babies and the West has abandoned Christianity. That's basically it. Right? It is not growing off of its own merits. It is only growing out of the weakness of the immune system of the West. And so this cancer is growing. That's why. And by the way, the retention rate of Westerners converting to Islam is incredibly low. Like, you know, you hear about those people, usually like ginger people who are converting to Islam. They don't stick in it very long. Like Westerners, after a while, especially if it's like a woman who's married into it, after a second, they realize, oh my goodness, what have I done? And then guess what? You can't leave, otherwise they'll kill you.
I never expected that perspective when I arrived here, but when you look at the before and after of Birmingham, you realize why people here might have that mentality. That's why I'm going to ask people here what they think of this old footage of Birmingham. Watch this.
This is so sad.
Hi, sorry to bother you. I'm doing... And I was wondering if I could ask you a question or two?
Sorry, my husband will beat me if I speak to you.
Is that okay? What language do you speak?
No, Bengali.
Bengali. So like right now we're trying to interview white people, but to get their perspective on how Birmingham, used to look like this. But the thing is we can't find any in this grocery store.
Now, there's a lot of talk about diversity, and yet small Heath, Birmingham is 85% Muslim.
Oh my goodness. 86% Muslim? So in the video that I made yesterday, I said that Birmingham was about 30% Muslim. Now that may be true for the overall greater region, but if you look at this part of Birmingham, it's 86% Muslim. Okay. Wow.
These are two maps. I'm not going to tell you which one is Kabul and which one is
More
Birmingham.
mosques in Birmingham than Kabul in Afghanistan.
I was reading how like in the 60s there were only 1 or 2 mosques in Birmingham, and now there's over 200.
Just look at this. This is not the UK anymore.
I want to understand how that happened.
Allah Akbar.
And with the rise of Islam in Birmingham and all around the UK, would you like to see Sharia law be implemented in the UK?
Well, that's what we want, if they can do more, what the Muslim laws are.
Yes.
So it's going to be good for Muslim people, and it's also for the all human beings, all the human peoples.
Yes.
The Islamic law is the best law in the world.
Absolute just sigh. Bro. I'm just lost for words. This is what these people believe. And they're getting what they want. Sorry for the long pause here. I want you to just sit with this for a second. All right, we are talking about an ideology, Islam and Sharia law, which you can't divorce from the two, that has turned countries into the pits of hell on earth. People can't stand living in them. Muslims can't stand living in them. They leave, come to the UK, and then want to bring that same system to the UK. I mean, forgive me, how dumb would you have to be to think like this? This is the most sick thing I think I've ever experienced or seen in my entire life. And I've spent a lot of time studying human torture and corrupt regimes throughout history. This is a special kind of sick.
And I saw that she just turned her face away from the camera. Are women not allowed to look into a camera?
Well, they are not. They are not allowed to, become in front of any person which is not married to the ladies. The madam means the
she's
person,
not allowed to look at.
Yeah, she's not allowed to look or speak with any Muslim, any person who's not married to the ladies.
Yeah. So for people that are concerned about Sharia law, like one of the things is like if you steal something, you get your hand cut off, right? That's right. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that should be implemented in the UK?
This is not only in UK. I think this law, if we've been implement any countries, I think the crime will become very low.
Yeah.
Well, then why don't we just chop the hands off of every one of these migrants and Muslims in the country that have stolen the country from the British people? If anyone is stealing anything from anyone in the UK, it is the fact that the British people have had their entire future stolen from them, their country stolen from them by these migrants in the country, particularly the Islamic kind. I mean, it's just like, the cognitive dissonance of this stupid Sharia law thing is just insane. Like, consider the fact that within 100 years, the Islamic conquest took half of the known Christian world, took half of the Roman Empire, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, I mean, Turkey, like all these countries, all of North Africa, Spain, France, like they steal everything. They steal everything. And then like all their architecture, like these domes, like they didn't come up with this. They stole it from Christian architecture, Roman architecture. Like they just plagiarize everything. Like the entire Quran, like Muhammad just took everything from other people he was hearing stuff from. This is not, man, it's hard to even just come up with an original thing to say about this. It's just so low tier intelligence that it's just hard to really fathom watching this.
That nicking things or stealing the things from the other people's,
Yes.
it will be stopped.
So this is Green Lane Mosque, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this mosque, I watched a clip of an imam instructing men how to stone their wife. There's a clip of it. Yes, there's a clip of it. He goes under. Do you want to see the clip of it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't believe that somebody is telling that you should stone to your wife.
Yeah. Here it is.
Notice the Takia shift here. 1 minute, Sharia law is the best thing for all people. We want it in the UK. Then when he brings up an aspect of Sharia law, stoning women to death, it's like, oh, really? Oh, I can't believe that that's happening here. It's like, why? Like, aren't you like a 60-year-old Muslim man? Like, surely you would have heard of the whole like stoning women thing. Don't act surprised.
Yes, there is another thing. Hold on. Might be I'm wrong. Yeah.
Yes.
There is a punishment for the woman.
Yeah.
If she do the adultery.
Yes, correct. That's exactly what it's for.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
This is.
And then it's okay.
This is for the adultery. If she is doing something wrong, she's unfair relationship with another Muslim man, then she is allowed to do the sangsar. We call him sangsar.
So he's allowed to bury her waist deep, right?
Yeah, no. They have to
stone.
Throw the stone and kill him with the stone.
Kill him.
Yeah.
That's what he says here. Okay, so that's okay.
Yeah, that is because if she do something wrong, that's what means. If she is doing unlawful sex with any other wrong person.
Right.
This
so
is the
What about all the people in England, in the UK, who've been part of the grooming and gang molesting of all these young girls in the UK? In the at least 250,000 girls. I estimate it's way higher than that. Times that number by several. What about them? What about the men? Right? What about the fact that Muhammad sexually exploited non-consenting women, not least of which Aisha, when she was 9 years old? Like, this is like nothing makes sense in Islam if you just actually dig down a little bit.
Sharia law is implemented in the UK. All people who cheat, all women who cheat should be killed.
They shouldn't cheat. That's what Islam says. That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what the Islam says. Women are not allowed to have a relationship with any person unless she is married with that person.
So my impression, it feels as though Islam is taking over the West. Would you agree?
Yeah, they are. Inshallah, soon.
Inshallah,
Soon.
Yeah.
All world will become Muslim. Yeah.
Yes. And why should the whole world become Muslim?
The Antichrist is forecast to be coming. So
know the reality of the religion of Islam.
Yeah.
Because this is the religion. Everything is we give the protection to the human beings. They like it, and that's why they will become Muslim.
What kind of nonsense is this? Like, why are these people so like gung ho about spreading this ideology that they themselves have fled from? Like, why are they in the UK? Why not live under Sharia law? Well, because they want to turn your country into the hellhole, which is most Islamic countries in the Middle East. Right? And ultimately, I believe that there is a deep-seated inferiority complex going on here, where Islam teaches that the Muslims are Allah's favored people. They are the greatest nation. They have the solution to all the world's problems, the final revelation. If anyone follows Islam, there'll be peace, there'll be great prosperity, it'll be wonderful. The Islamic nations have enforced it, and it's just miserable. Nothing works in these countries. They all suck. And then they come to the West and they're like, wow, everything you've got is the stuff that we actually want, and yet you're not Muslim. Better destroy it, right? We want to destroy it because you don't deserve it. So there's a resentment and there's an inferiority complex going on.
Why do you think a lot of terrorist organizations are Islam? Why is that?
They are not. They are not Islam. They are just only using the name of Islam.
Yes.
Otherwise, Islam is a peaceful religion.
Yes.
It's not allow anybody to do any cruelty.
Taqiyya lies, taqiyya lies, taqiyya lies.
Muslim or non-Muslim.
Okay, I understand. There was a man in Spain, I just went from Spain, he said Allahu Akbar and he stabbed an innocent woman 30 times. He shouldn't be saying Allahu Akbar, right, when he does that?
Well, you can't stop him, but as I said, this is just when you say Allahu Akbar, that means he's the great.
Yeah.
He's the one in the world, the greatest in
and
the
then
world.
they usually do something
and
not
you
great.
do something wrong, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
So how come people before they do something bad, they don't say Jesus is king or Baruch Hashem? They tend to say
but
Allahu
as
Akbar.
I said, a lot of people, as I said here, they're using the name of Islam.
But
And
why do they use the name of Islam? Why do they do it?
No, but that's depend their mind.
Why do you think they use it?
No, but
Because,
as I
like I
said-
said, there's thousands and thousands of terrorist attacks.
Of course, I'm not saying, but because
How can anyone say it's religion of peace with a straight face?
a lot of people, as I said, because they got their own mind, No, you can't stop me, or I can't stop you that you can't say this word.
Full of excuses, nonsense.
Who I am to stop you that no, you shouldn't say that.
Right, of course. But should Islam take over America?
Well, as I said, it will happen, inshallah. As I told you, it will
How will
happen.
you introduce me to some people in the mosque?
Huh?
Are you going to introduce me to some people in the mosque?
You want to go in?
Yeah, I do.
As we head into the mosque, we can remember that he revealed the plan for Islam to take over the West. It's to first put people into parliament in the UK that will instill Sharia law. Then he wants to use the UK as a model for Sharia across the West. And I don't blame him for being enthusiastic about Islam taking over. I mean, look at how Birmingham began their city council ceremony this year for their new Lord Mayor, the first Muslim to hold the position.
This is not a parody, by the way. This is a real beard. This is a real turban.
Ask yourself if you want city council meetings to begin like this in America. When we discussed how it's permissible to beat your wife according to Islamic law, it wasn't just about some verse in the Quran or what's happening here in Birmingham. This ideology is creeping its way into America. And now, back to the mosque.
I spoke to him. He's wonderful.
He's my son.
That's my father.
Oh my God, no way. Okay, that's amazing.
We have lots of people. We have schools and all sorts of people come through, and you have a lot of even the local councils and stuff come through. It's just they can't do it without it actually being organised through the correct channels, so to speak. So they wouldn't really allow anyone to just kind of come in and record something.
You said there's schools here, right?
Yeah, so we have a lot of local schools come and they'll come to. They'll have
Does it include
Does
it include public schools and private schools?
Yeah. Both. I mean, whatever schools come.
Yeah.
Or whoever's booked it. So whatever schools.
Okay, so public schools in the UK are going to a mosque where they do Sharia lectures. That imam who instructed men on how to stone their wives still works at this mosque, Green Lane Mosque, and taxpayer funds are used to send kids to this mosque. Let that sink in. And here's the clip of him actually saying that. This is what I was going to show him until he just admitted that that's what they're saying.
Her that she is punished and she is stoned to death. And according to the Sharia again, when it comes to women, there must be a hole dug in the earth, in the ground, and she must be covered up to the half of the body.
At Green Lane Mosque alone, more than 40 schools across the UK took part in its school visitation program in just 2 years. State-funded schools in the UK are legally required to teach religious education, and that curriculum has to include Britain's major religions, which now include Islam. Private schools educate about 6% of UK children, so when we're talking about mosque visits, it's the taxpayer-funded school system that's doing it. He also mentioned how local counselors are going through this mosque, which is no surprise considering this is what celebrations looked like after Birmingham's elections. You'll notice that you don't see any women.
All white people. All right, I can't watch much more of that. That was it was really difficult to watch. Really difficult to watch. I sometimes get to the point where I really feel that there's no turning this around at this point. I think we're in for the long haul. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a different opinion, But we have to remember that the Muslims grabbed hold of Spain for 781 years until a small pocket of Christians pushed them back out. So, do I think we're at that point yet? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just incredibly saddened by that video. Deeply saddened by that video. And look, I just want to make it clear that it's not just the immediate aesthetic changes that I'm concerned about here. I know what Islam brings to a country. I know what is in store for the UK in the next 5, 10, 20 years. It's going to be really brutal. It's going to be really brutal. And as their numbers grow closer and closer to an actual majority, I'm talking like 70, 80% of the country, the remaining 20% are going to have a very, very hard time indeed. Whatever Christians will be left will be living in underground lives, private lives, secret lives. The fate of girls, daughters, how this will impact the rest of Europe, the knock-on effects, the domino effects of this culturally, politically, geopolitically, what that means for America. And some days it really feels like I'm watching the apocalypse, the book of Revelation play out, without trying to sound too dramatic here. This religion of the Antichrist. Antichrist is in that which replaces Christ, that is anti-Jesus Christ, and that's Islam. And the image in Revelation is that of a whore which is riding a beast, as this kind of image of destruction. And we've really seen sexual promiscuity and just the LGBT, the woke, lefty, transgender ideology guide this beast of Islam into the West through not having children, massive abortions as a result of new sexual ideologies, whorish ideologies, which means that there's not enough people in the country anymore, which opens up the borders to invaders. And so it's like riding this beast of Islam into the West. And this is the image in Revelation. So it sometimes feels that this is there's like an end times quality to this, especially when you take into account everything else that's just the breakdown of society at large. Of course, I don't know if this is the end times. Of course, I'm not saying that, but it has that kind of quality about this. Yeah. All right, I'm going to end the video here. Give this video a thumbs up. Not because you liked it, but maybe you learned something from this and you want more videos like this. Hype it so that other people can see it. Comment down below your honest thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll speak to you in the next one. God bless.